This week, the In the Spotlight crew is on the road.
In our feature on local musicians, this week's story behind the scenes is really unusual.
Photojournalist Gary Bryan brings us the profile of a singer-songwriter whose daytime job is actually helping his nighttime gig.
On this segment of In the Spotlight, we're in Rockville, Indiana, to introduce you to a songwriter of a different breed.
Well, I'm a professional dog trainer. I've always had dogs and worked with dogs since I was a kid. And then I was on the Sheriff's Department for many years, and I was a canine handler for 16 years. And then after I left the Sheriff's Department and went into my own business.
Jack Shannon trains canines for local law enforcement agencies. He may not be the picture you have in your mind when you think of a singer-songwriter. That is, until you hear his music.
Christopher Columbus saw it glow as he made his way across the sea.
Well, I started when I was about 8 years old, and my brothers played, and my dad, and there was just always music in our house.
His love for playing then turned into a love for writing.
And I always felt I could write songs, and I've always really been into the songwriters more than bands, that type of thing. And when I played out a lot, people were always asking for a CD, and I never had one. So I thought, well, I'll do a CD. So I thought, well, to save some money, I'll just write a few songs just to throw on there to make it a little cheaper.
It was his upbringing that not only fostered his love for songwriting, but also gave him something to write about.
Same old moon shining down.
I was driving back, and the river bottoms down by Lyford, where we used to go out there and hunt for arrowheads when we were kids, it was all lit up on a big full moon night, and I got to thinking what that looked like when the Indians were out there. And then it just kind of hit me that, wow, the same moon I'm looking at tonight is the same moon they looked at. And so I wrote this song about, we all share the same old moon. No matter who you are, anyone who's ever walked the earth shared that moon.
Jack's passion for writing music would lead him to Nashville, and as luck would have it, his other passion would play a key role in his success.
Douglas Corner is a big songwriter, plays there in Nashville. And I was there one night, and somebody mentioned that I was a dog trainer. Well, I had people come up talking to me about dog training that I could never have approached. Ended up meeting some great writers in Nashville that really helped me and took me under their wing.
Taking what he learned from Nashville's greats and playing it back to those who will listen.
It's fun to write something and then just throw it out there and see what happens.
In Rockville, with Jade Scott and photojournalist David Essex, Gary Bryan, News 10.
If you want to know more about Jack Shannon and his music, check out WTHI-TV.com. And once you're there, just click on the In the Spotlight button.
I love his philosophy about looking at the moon, because I feel the same way. When you look at the moon, it's the same moon we have watched for thousands and thousands and thousands of years. It goes through its phases, and it sort of is interconnecting. No matter where you are on this planet, you're looking at the same moon.
I love this little series that Jade and Gary do, because it really highlights a lot of the musical talent that's just kind of, hidden across the Wabash Valley.
There's a lot around here.
And, Gary, of course, he's my photographer, so
Gary
our photographer.
Gary the photographer.
So we're just proud to see him do things that are that awesome, that cool.
Yep.
Well, we're